Well, welcome everybody. We are here for week 2 of the ABL Hot Corner. Week 1 of the Brute ABL 2018-2019 has come and gone. Welcome Andrew Spelling once again. How are you, Spells?
Well, thank you, Chuckles.
We got a great review from last week's show. How'd you go? Oh, well, yeah.
140 odd views, got some great reviews.
I've got some messages on my phone and got some inboxes on Facebook, and apparently we do all right, but my right hand sort of has a problem when I'm on the table.
That's your assertive hand.
So I've been told by a few people, as you would have seen, that to watch it. So look, it was a great weekend. We saw 15 out of 16 games won by the home team. 3-team sweep, of course, and we saw something on Friday night, I think it was, or Saturday night. Might have the game wrong, but we saw a walk-off in baseball. We saw a team walk off the field, and I'll get you your views on that in a minute. But first off, what did you think of the 3-team sweeping?
Well, I think if we probably were right on our game, we might have predicted it. You know, we talked about Auckland, that they were going to be, you know, a little rough. Perth came out and nabbed them. Same with Melbourne v Canberra.
That was an interesting result.
Yeah, that was an interesting result. Yeah, we'll talk about that one a little bit more. Probably very interesting. Sydney, I think we both felt it, and we just weren't quite sure.
Sure about it.
And I think that they showed that they might take a little while to get going as well. And we said that we thought Adelaide might be under it a little bit, and they might snatch one, and they did.
They did. They could have snatched 2.
Yeah.
And Saturday in a double header, they looked a bit flat, if there is such a thing in baseball. They fell behind early in both games and couldn't recover, and only scored 2 runs for the day. Both of those games 7-1 defeats, and that was after, of course, Solbach's great effort the night before. So we saw something on the weekend that we haven't seen. Well, I haven't seen personally. Haven't seen. We saw a manager get ejected, Mr. Koo from the Geelong Korean team. He's been around the ABL as a closer for the Sydney Blue Sox. He's no legendary back home. If you saw the incident, it looks like from the vision he was warned 2 or 3 times from the chief umpire, the crew chief umpire at home plate. Then walked back to the mound and got ejected, as he should have been, because as you know, Spells, you can't argue balls and strikes. And then proceeded to take his team off the field. What are your views on that?
I don't know, he might be giving up smoking or something. I don't really know, because he was extremely grumpy. And he showed, I think, 3 or 4 years ago with the Blue Sox that he got ejected and piffed one over the grandstand.
Yes, that was in Canberra. Yeah, landed on the golf course, I believe.
So he's not so much got a history of it, but it's not quite on. He's much better than that. Yeah. And let's hope that it was just the first round blues, and he just couldn't quite
get it out of the way weekend for Geelong Korea. Unfortunately, lost 4 games, so it wasn't a good look for the ABL, of course. It wasn't a good look for baseball in general. Look, we don't know what the outcome's going to be, but you would expect some some monetary fine or some suspension. Maybe that will come later, but we don't know. But the focus is week 2, so. That's it for our quick wrap-up of the introduction there, and we'll come back, take a break, and we'll back for the all-important review of week 1 shortly.
This is Judy Gregorius with the New York Yankees, and you're watching the Australian Baseball League.
So welcome back to the ABL Hot Corner, and now we will review the 4 games, or the 4 series that took place last weekend. And I'll throw it straight over to you, Chuckles. Brisbane Adelaide.
Brisbane Adelaide. We saw Brisbane come away with a 3-1 series win. Spells, I reckon it could have easily been 2-2. I thought the first game late, Adelaide had their chances, couldn't convert. But I guess you look at Brisbane's rotation, and I think with teams haven't won games by game 3 and they come up against a guy called Travis Blackley and then run into Tim Atherton, You might be in a bit of trouble.
You'll be in big trouble.
You're in big trouble. If that's right, I know Sel had a bit of a rough outing, Sammy Holland had a great start to his starting career, as you like to think, with the Brisbane Bandits. He went 4 innings on Thursday night and come away with the win for Brisbane. Look, they did what they had to do. They took care of business. I didn't think they were overly at the plate offensively. They didn't really explode in the first series, but it's great to see guys like Daniel Nielsen get a run in the outfield. I guess that would have come about with the departure of Whitefield. There's a spot out there. Dave Nielsen's made it clear he's going to play Mitch Ellis, and we saw it was great. And Dan Nielsen out there, so it's great. He's a bit of a journeyman. He played a year here in Adelaide with Steve Mintz. He was a pitcher back then, but it's great to see him go up there and play left field for the series. Mitch Ellis, who went away with the 23s at Columbia in the World Cup, he got a couple of starts out there at right field, hit a big 3-run home run in the first game on Saturday, the double header. For the bite, look, the performance of Solak was magnificent. Look, we've seen him before, we know of him. The sinker baller, he really moved the ball around the plate a lot, kept the head, got his pitch count down. He was a shining light. Perez,
11 strikeouts.
11 strikeouts.
Got pitcher of the week.
Pitcher of the week. You know, you come to that 8 innings, and as a manager, you got Adelaide have a 5-1 lead at that stage. You do or you don't. You know, you've been through the lineup probably 3 or 4 times. You don't want to face the heart of the lineup for a 5th time. And look, people will say that
Throwing over 100.
Throwing over 100, so first outing, you take him out. Look, there's plenty to say. Chris Addison was right by taking him out. You've brought a closer over to close games. Nothing better than a 4-run cushion to get him in there and try and get the 3 out save. Look, he had a bit of a rough outing, Chaffey, but in the end he got out of it. So I've got no problem with the decision at all. But we saw a couple of relievers in the first game on Thursday night, a couple of imports in Perez and Kuki, I think I've got that pronounced right. The bite were behind when they came in. Different roles going forward, I think, because I was quite impressed with them. What do you think?
I thought they did a fantastic job. Kuki's a little drop-down guy and, sort of really wheeled it around and had a lot of movement. They did a fantastic job. They really did.
Perez come in.
They're very seriously powerful hitting lineup.
Yes. I didn't think they changed that much from last year, but those 2 guys, I definitely see them in a different role going forward, Adelaide, particularly when they're in front, maybe 5th or 6th innings, so we'll wait and see on that. Brian Chaffey had a bit of a howler of an introduction to the ABL, the closer that the bite brought over. He gave up a couple of runs, or gave up 6 runs, I should say, in his 2 outings. Looked a bit maybe not underdone, but had a lot of velo there. Maybe struggled with the strike zone, but he was hit pretty hard. But again, I'm willing to forgive these guys. First up in Oz, and they got out there. Look, they'd be better for the run. Everyone would be better for the run. So come home, bit of home cooking. He'll get his chance this weekend to redeem himself, I'm sure. So Adelaide, look forward to that. So the area that did concern me spells on the weekend was the DH spot and a couple of other spots. Look, Rogan and McCarter went a total of 3 for 37 over the 4 games. Is that a concern at this stage or not?
I mean, it has to be. I mean, as you said, the pitching was strong, good pitching, will be good hitting any day of the week, but somehow we just have to manufacture and do a little bit better than that.
And Shumpert and Reynolds, who they got for his imports,
impressive.
all they want to do is get on base, all they want to do is get it on a run.
Yes.
I think they stole all bases last weekend, and I think we stole 8 bases last year. The bite, and only stole.
Got 3 himself.
Well, there you go. They took back 5 or 6 swipes, so there you go. So Brisbane 3-1. Adelaide look forward to Melbourne coming home, or to West Beach this weekend. Spells, one of the other games the series we saw that was quite an unexpected result. We went for a split in this one. Melbourne and Canberra. How did you see that one?
I saw that one perhaps as I internally thought it might have gone. I thought Melbourne might be pretty strong, and they were. Their pitching was lights out, really. Ruzic being the star for them, he threw 7, I think, in game 3.
Had a no-hitter going.
Had a no-hitter going, up to 6. It must really break our heart to see the big fella still wheeling away and doing the job out there, because we can certainly do him, have him in our pen.
Give him a lot of credit, the big room, he's lost a bit of weight too.
Yeah.
And look, Westvale was their first pitcher on Friday night in import, and look, they seem to cruise. The at-bats Canberra had, but they only scored 4 runs, I believe, for the weekend.
Yeah.
Got blanked on Sunday.
About $1.60.
About $1.60, $1.70 as a team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too concerned yet. I'm pretty sure Keith Ward will have them up and running this weekend against Sydney, which is probably the series of the round for me, because Canberra 0-4 and Sydney are 4-8. Traditional rivals, Hume Highway rivals these days, and it'll be good to see Canberra get off the mat.
Well, I don't think their 2-6 in their lineup troubled them too much.
No, it didn't.
I don't think they really got much out of them at all. Candless, the 2 Perkins boys.
Yeah. Altona can be a bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
Breezing, blowout.
Yeah.
So, and we saw Enciando from Melbourne pitch a ripper of another under-23 player that went away. He went away. It was just like turn up, and he was just like pounding the strikes.
It was just a cream on the cake, I think.
On Sunday, and you saw that it was just which team could break. You thought if Canberra could score a couple of runs, they could get on the board and swipe the game. They didn't. Melbourne just come back with a couple of sacrifice flies to left field, and all of a sudden 2-0, scored another couple of runs. Series over, sweep over.
I think it would be remiss of us not to talk about Steve Kent. His start was absolutely outstanding. 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, just absolutely awesome from Steve. He had a little bit of a up and down season last year. He really dedicated himself and with his pride to be better than that. And well, what a wonderful start for him.
Well, that'll close that series out between Melbourne and Canberra. We'll move on to the Perth-Auckland series, and we saw, of course, Perth sweep the Tuatara 4-0. Look, they broke their hearts. Jake Bowie broke their hearts in the first game of the doubleheader. Look,
they were hitless through
5
more
6.
I reckon.
Well, might have come to the 7th.
I think it did.
Remarkable statistic that was. They came to the bottom of the 7th, 4-0, and of course the game's never over, Spells.
Never over. It's often the toughest part of the game, isn't it, Chuckles?
Yeah.
You can be dominating, but you still got to close it out.
Still got to get those 3 outs.
Hold your nerve and take it to the end.
The hardest 3 outs in baseball is the great Ron Harvey said.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say that, of course. But look, 4-0, a couple of hits, an error, I believe, and then Jake Bowie comes up with a couple of runs on base and breaks Mitzi's heart, and the Auckland's heart. So, look, the pitching in that game by the prospect Klakowski was, I think I've pronounced that right. Look, he's only here for 25 innings.
Yeah.
I know you've got strong views on it, bringing prospects out that are limited.
Yes.
Can't go the distance. We know that they're sort of not sending out pitches a lot, the affiliated teams, because of the restrictions on them. The Major League Baseball season and the minor league systems have shut down. Your views on that?
Oh, look, how special for us to see such a prospect, a Phillies prospect. He looks like he's well and truly on the way. A wonderful pitcher. It's just so difficult, and especially for Tuatara, who I'm sure it just took so much wind out of their sails that they look like, it's fine line, isn't it? They win that game.
And they're going, they're straight into the 9 innings game half an hour later.
Yeah.
They're chock full of confidence.
They're chock full of confidence, and I think it would have really taken some wind out of their sails, and as it worked out, they got swept, and they were very poor offensively as well.
Jenkins and Clark were highlights for them. They batted very well.
Yes.
But let's give them maybe a couple more. They turn up. They go home, face Brisbane this weekend. So let's give them a bit of home cooking there, and let's see if they can break the ice this weekend against a strong Brisbane outfit. Cosma, a major leaguer, great addition to the Heat.
Yeah, fantastic. I was still sitting on the fence a little bit with the Heat. I sort of read their warm-up series and all of that sort of thing. It looked like their pitching was strong, and then all of a sudden, over a weekend, it wasn't so strong. They didn't look so fantastic, but look, I think they just balanced up. They were just a little bit too organised and a little bit bit too solid for Auckland first up.
One thing for me, and being biased of course, because we just come back from Colombia with the World Cup of the 23s, Hall, Williams, Sam, Kennelly, Southey on the mount for 4 years.
Yes, fantastic.
And then they come up with ex-23 players in Lowry and Nick Veal. The Aussie youth shone in Perth on the weekend, but I think it's great for the competition. It's great for Australian baseball going ahead to maybe possibly an Olympic year in 2 years' time for us. So it's a great induction as to those guys, because a couple of those guys are still eligible for some Australian youth teams. They'll be there in a couple of years' time, hopefully represent us in the Olympics.
We've got a lot to look forward to, Chuckles, and I think, okay, those boys are ahead of this, the little league that's been introduced into Australia and really taking off. And I think the more that we're seeing it, and the more that we're seeing some lot stronger competition in Australian nationals, and all of those sorts of things, it is really holding us in good stead. And we talked about Mead and McArdle, there's another couple from it as well. It's extremely promising from an Australian point of view.
We've seen a bit of a change maybe from the last WBC team that went away, and the 2 games that we played against Japan earlier in the year, next sort of exhibition games. The next Australian side that you might see under new manager Dave Nielsen might be a little bit different.
Yes.
So, and those guys are certainly going to be a part of them. So the Heat take care of Auckland 4-0 in the first week of the Brute ABL season. We go now to the interesting round, series of games, and spells Sydney swat the Geelong career 4-0.
Yeah, well, Sydney have got a bit of the habit of this in the first round. I think they've swept 3 times and won 3 in another series over the last 4 or 5 years. So they're extremely, they love this opening series.
Yeah, well,
I think we sort of touted it. I knew that Tony had accumulated the bunch he wanted. He, on the other hand, like Steve, has no restrictions and got guys that are fighting for their life. So they're really, I'm rating them. I think that they're going to be up there.
You heard it first, people. The Sydney Blue Sox are being rated after I put them under the blowtorch last week.
Well,
great psychology.
I don't think you put them under the blowtorch to, that you question them. I think you were just thinking, hey, you've been perennial underachievers. When's it going to be?
When's it going to happen for them? They haven't played in the playoffs for at least 3 years, I believe. So,
that was super impressive.
I think, as I said, we'll get to the Canberra series and Sydney series in the picks for week 2. So, but that's going to be an interesting series. So, well, that is our review of week 1 in the Brute Australian Baseball League. As I said, 3 sweeps. The home team won 15 out of 16 games. What are we going to see this weekend? We'll come back, we'll close the segment, and we'll come back with Grill the Chuckler. We'll see you soon.
Holloway Field in Brisbane on a sunny Sunday afternoon for a winner-take-all showdown in the ABL semifinals.
Leaps and he makes the catch!
No hit from the left side, and swinging first pitch, bouncing.
Oh, this ball is absolutely pulverized!
Koo zones in, and that ball is hit weakly back to Koo. It's a routine play, fires into Josh Dean, and the Blue Sox win themselves a ball game.
Big hit from very distinct Japanese high leg kick in the pause, but it's easy to see why he's such a fan favorite back with the Seibu Lions.
Ball comes home. Williams laces it back up the box for a base hit.
As Delvin Young has hit a home run to right centre to give the Aces a 2-run lead.
I'm here to help the team wherever I can.
Yeah, nice play. Gets to it. He knows as soon as he drops to his knees.
First pitch here to Chi-Chen Lin is swung on and hit towards the left field line. 2-home run game for Chi-Chen Lin.
The 0-2 to Collins. Popped up. Shallow center. The shortstop Wade is there. He makes the catch. And they've done it again. A new dynasty has emerged in the ABL. The Bandits are back-to-back champions.
Welcome back to the ABL Hot Corner, and let me tell you, Chuckles, grill the Chuckler went off.
It went off?
It went off.
Oh my God.
How we haven't got 5 or 6 sponsors just banging down the doors.
That's what I do with my right hand.
Banging down those doors and saying, I need to get on board Grill the Chuckler, because your idea of the pre-season comp was very well received.
Thank you, Spurs. Everyone, you're not always right all the time. It's not about being right or wrong, it's just trying to offer a different view. What can they do better to say? Let's hope in the years coming forward we can have a pre-season competition.
Yes, and I think that planted some seeds, and there's no doubt that it has a lot of merit, Mark. I said to you at the time it was a very intelligent Grill Chuckler.
That's the first time you called me, Mark, in a long time.
Yes. So here's a couple for you. Thursday nights, Chuckles. Thursday night.
Get rid of them. There's the answer.
Does that just and move on to the next?
No, get rid of them.
You got anything to support?
Thursday, I've got plenty of support. I don't understand why we play Thursday nights. Been involved for 5 or 6 years. The Australian players that tour on the road got to take another day off of work. They've got to take 2 days off work, obviously.
Yeah.
And Thursday nights, especially obviously in Adelaide, and it's probably the same in every other state, Spells, or we're assuming, I was told in every assuming, but I'm pretty sure it's the case. It's a club night. So if we want players that are playing at our local clubs, we want youth teams that are training, they're playing obviously, they're training on Thursday nights. I don't see the crowd on Thursday nights. Now maybe Thursday night in 2 nights' time here when Adelaide opening against Melbourne, the Crows have come on board. Let's see what they've done publicity-wise, if they've done anything different. So either don't play Thursday nights, play Friday single, Saturday double, Sunday afternoon, go home. I think we've given that Sunday is we've got to play, because if you and everyone's got a different view, or you play Thursday night single, Friday night single, and double header Saturday, and then the teams fly home Sunday morning. If they're going to stay Saturday night, my view, they might as well play Sunday afternoon. So get rid of the Thursday night game. The 2 best nights to market the ABL, I believe, are Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, obviously, you don't have, the majority of people, and the young ones and the teenagers don't have to work, maybe part-time jobs, of course, maybe, but you're going to pull more people on a Friday night than you do on a Thursday night. So you're going to play on a Thursday night? Throw the gates open, make it a gold coin donation.
I reckon you're onto something there. Perhaps just for the scheduling, something we're missing.
Again, we don't know the ins and outs of it.
No, we don't. But being, part of it was the live streaming for the first 6 years or so. Thursday nights were a paltry 300, and they were the diehards.
That's right.
And that's really all you got there. And that was, so again, unless we're missing something, perhaps we can schedule it up a little bit better, because those people out of all the suburban clubs, I'm sure would like to be here, but they just can't do it.
Well, you know what? We've got 13 district clubs here in Adelaide. If we didn't play Thursday nights, if I was an Adelaide Bite, it's just an example, I'd send the Adelaide Bite out to a district club every Thursday night and get every youth team out there on the field for 2 hours and do a clinic for 2 hours, and then throw out hundreds of free tickets to the. I mean, they're getting it for free anyway. I'm unsure of the age limit, but look, get the bite players out there, do their clinics on a Thursday night for 2 hours, have a sausage sizzle bite and pie night, the old footy pie nights, and let's get that game and promote it as best we can, and then they can come out Friday to the baseball. I'm not Thursday nights.
Yep, you got to give a bit to get a bit. Can the Thursday nights. Chuckles. Okay, what about Saturdays and the starting time, the 7 o'clock slot to start?
I don't understand why we start at 7:20 on a Saturday night, or maybe 7 o'clock, give or take. Again, maybe an issue that we don't know about, but a lot of teams start at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. If they're playing double headers, let's start the games at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. I know we've perceived these games, look, apart from extra innings, it may go 3 hours, have a break in between, say 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, just teething with those times. If you've got a single game, let's start the game earlier at 6 o'clock. If the game's delayed, obviously you've got an extra hour, of course, up your sleeve, but I don't understand why we play at 7 o'clock and 20 past 7 at night. Some teams play at 7:30 at night, and that's in Melbourne. I think Geelong and Korea have scheduled a few 7:30 games at night. If we've got curfews, we don't want curfews in the ABL spells.
No.
We want 9 innings, and then extra innings in the international rules. I can get the international rules part, but if you play at 7, baseball is what, 9 innings, right? Let's start at 6 o'clock in a single game on a Saturday night. People get home earlier. The youth players that are playing football, they get home earlier at night. More people are going to come to the game on a Saturday night if we start the game at 6 o'clock roughly. 6:15, 6:30.
Well, and even the players, Chuckles, because, just picture that 7:30 start, 3-ish.
Midnight,
fired right up, adrenaline pumping, trying to go home and sleep and have a decent night's sleep.
It doesn't happen.
The mind's still rattling around. I think there's a lot of merit again, Chuckles. I tell you what, this Grill the Chuckler segment, 2 weeks in a row, boom. We'll be back in a sec.
This is a message to our rivals. We are Perth Heat. And there is a fire that burns inside us. It burns during a 5 a.m. gym session. And it's fueled by the sacrifices we make. Intensity is not just a word to us. It's a way of life. And we'll keep coming. Every step. And every breath. You better be ready. Because we're bringing the fire. The heat is on.
Well, welcome back to the ABL Hot Corner, week 2, week 1 review that we've done. We've had Grill the Chuckler. It's going all proportions. It's going to be a huge segment in the weeks, according to the man next to me, so we'll wait and see. But another segment that has gained momentum after my prediction last week, now I put Sydney Blue Sox under the blowtorch. They came out, I think it's great psychology on my part, 4-0 result. Right, so
How often does it happen?
How often does it happen? You put a team or somebody under the pump, they deliver. So week 2 of the blowtorch. Now I don't know what the blowtorch is, but my man Andrew Sperling has got the blowtorch for week 2. I have no idea what it is. We're about to find out, and I'm a bit worried. So Spurls, who or what, doesn't have to be can be an individual, who or what is under the blowtorch for week 2 of the Brute ABL season?
Well, the ABL is under the blowtorch, or right in its big dirty flame, because the streaming, absolutely disgraceful. I'm sorry, I know there's been a public apology or etc. for it, but no good. And it's extremely close to my heart. I'd started this, I was a pioneer of live streaming the baseball in this country, and I tell you what, Adelaide, B grade, Melbourne, B grade, Sydney, Vision, pretty good. Not up with the American commentary, Chuckles. I'm sorry, this is an Australian baseball league and I'm not with it. Queensland, Brisbane, for such a proud organisation, nearly a disgrace to be quite honest. Canberra, okay. Perth, just okay. I mean, this is now, what, 10 or 11 years we're in.
I think we're season 9.
You know, the old adage, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Well, it's exactly what's going on at the moment. It's just not good enough. It is the only area that we've got to throw to the world and say, hey, check us out. But at the minute, it is just near on embarrassing.
Taking that a step further, I fully agree with you. Taking that a step further, should every game be streamed?
Well, we're just talking about that obviously coming from the powerhouse, that they're not putting enough emphasis, and they're not budgeting enough for this, Mark. You know, like, you want some decent cameramen, well, you've got to pay them. You know, you want some decent commentators, well, you've got to pay them. And you want people that can bring this game and show it in all of its power and might that we want it to be. This league is improving all the time. The players we're being sent, magnificent. Everything is going up, but the stream is just not going anywhere.
Look, I was part of the helping yourself and Peter White out with the 10th innings. I loved coming up, and even while I was working for Adelaide, I loved coming up for a couple of innings each night and seeing you guys do a great job. And look, questions were raised. Look, just stepping aside from the ABL a little bit, you know, we had a chance to stream our SABL Grand Final out here last year, and we couldn't do it till Game 3. Well, lucky there was a Game 3. So that's just sort of the predicament that we're in. And then coming back to the ABL, like last weekend, we didn't see Melbourne and Geelong until, Melbourne and Canberra until Sunday. We saw all the Brisbane Bandits game on ABL TV and the Bandits.tv, and they've got to be congratulated on that. But we saw all 4 games though. We saw the 4 Adelaide and Brisbane games.
We saw the camera stuck up in the grandstand at ground level with somebody trying to find the ball. It's just not good enough.
Totally agree with you.
Just not good enough. But it hurts. It hurts because
look at the steam coming out of it.
My streaming company, our streaming company, I think would be as good a stream as anywhere in Australia. And we're sitting twiddling our thumbs wondering why we're not involved in this.
You cover a lot of soccer in LA, don't you?
We do the MPLSA on the weekly play of the day. We've just got such a fabulous team. Our cameramen know this game back to front. They don't chase the ball. They know where the ball's going. It's a fine art. We're watching the Adelaide stream here. Once the ball goes to the outfield, I don't even know where it is. I've got to find the fielder to tell me where the ball's going. The centre field camera's grainy. I know I'm getting personal now, but I tell you what, if we want this sport to move the way on the field is moving forward, we really need to have a good hard look at this and start to put some funds towards it.
Well, there you go, people. The week 2 of the Blowtorch, far more controversial than week 1. I can't wait to work out what's going to be week 3 when it's my turn. So the Blowtorch has come and gone. We'll close the segment. We'll come back with our 5th and final segment in a minute.
Welcome back everyone, the ABL Hot Corner. I've gone and had a quick little cool shower.
Cool shower.
And we're back. We're going to have a look at the round, Chuckles.
The round coming up.
Have a look at the round coming up.
Well, it's a right hand again.
Look, I don't mind the right hand. I don't mind it. Melbourne and Adelaide in the lovely city of Churches. What do you think?
Opening up at West Beach this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Well, Adelaide, as we said last week, Adelaide and Perth, so the Adelaide series against Melbourne and Perth, the 2 home series that they've got in a row, they have to start doing something. Don't give up on the bite just yet, people. I like their line-up offensively. Let's give it time. Minimum 2-2 this weekend. I'm going to sit on the fence.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going through Melbourne 3.
There you go. Perth, Geelong, Korea in Geelong.
Oof. Well, there's one thing they need to get used to some wind. Wind.
Are we going to expect a response?
Oh, I think we have to expect a response. I mean, it goes to show to me. I mean, Koo is a legend. What's he got to worry about whether he wins a couple of ball games or not? And so it goes to show managing baseball, being part of baseball, being probably part of any sport. It doesn't matter how good you are. When you put a coach's hat on, there's a lot that comes with it, and it showed with the great, you know, Kudo's song last week. He lost his cool. I'm sure he'll be looking to do a lot better. I'm sure his team will be looking to do a lot better. As I said, I'm still a little bit on the fence with Perth, but I still see them winning 3 of those games as well.
I'll sit on the fence again. I'll go 2-2. I expect something from Geelong Korea. Let's see if they can produce.
You're way too big to be sitting on fences, Mark.
I know, because I'm crushing.
You'll injure yourself.
I know. Brisbane and Auckland over there. Auckland debuting at home. You would look. I'm hoping Auckland get their first win this weekend. I'm going to tip Brisbane to win the series 3-1. Can we see Auckland get their first victory in the Brute ABL? It's just a matter of which game. I mean, if the big fella, the big dingo, decides to bullpen the first game, as you saw last week, Holland only 3 innings, and then he bullpen the rest of the game out. It could be interesting. I'd like to see Auckland be a bit sentimental with Mitzi. So, look, Auckland will get their first win this weekend. I don't know what game it's going to be, but Brisbane to win 3-1.
Yeah, I think it's all about where they set their start, Auckland, and how, you know, how far, if he's possibly, I know that they just keep ticking off those innings as you go by, and so what are they going to do? You know, like put it all on the line and get a win from him.
First up.
So I'm with you, Chuckles. Mincy, we love you, buddy. Let's hope you snatch your first win this weekend.
And we come to the all-important. I think the series of I mean, people say the Melbourne-Adelaide series is the game of the round, or the series of the round. Yes.
Oh dear.
Well, Adelaide start again slow. Melbourne sweep, of course, but Canberra and Sydney, Lockhorns in Sydney. We want a response from Canberra, don't we? You'd expected a response from Canberra and their lineup. And they had some good pitching last weekend as well. I know the game got away with them on Saturday night late in the game that Ruzic threw. But look, I expect Canberra to come out and win 3. I know people say, well, how can you tip because Sydney won 4 the week before?
Where's this game?
No, in Sydney. They're just up the road. I think they go well at Blacktown. I'm expecting plenty of runs. We didn't see a lot of runs.
No.
I know that we mentioned the Brett baseball's been modified or something along those lines. Look, I'm going to tip an upset, and people say, well, you know, some people say it's not really an upset, but we're week 2. Going on last week's results, people say it is an upset. I'm going Canberra to win 3.
Yeah, no good, Chuckles. Sydney all the way, buddy.
How many?
3-1. Might sweep them.
So
I think Canberra are going to start with.
Canberra are going to start 1-7, 0-8.
Something like that.
You heard it first on the ABL Hot Corner from Andrew Spurling. Well, that's going to be the week 2 picks. We're going to come back with our final segment after this break.
Holloway Field in Brisbane on a sunny Sunday afternoon for a winner-take-all showdown in the ABL semifinals. Leaps and he makes the catch! No hit from the left side and swinging first pitch, bouncing.
Oh, this ball is absolutely pulverized.
Koo zones in. And that ball is hit weakly back to Koo. It's a routine play. Fires it to Josh Dean. And the Blue Sox win themselves a ball game.
Very distinct Japanese high leg kick and the pause, but it's easy to see why he's such a fan favorite back with the Seibu Lions.
Ball comes home. Williams laces it back up the box for a base hit.
As Delvin Young has hit a home run to right centre to give the Aces a 2-run lead.
I'm here to help the team wherever I can.
Yeah, nice play. Gets to it. He knows as soon as he drops to his knees.
First pitch here to Chi-Shen Lin is swung on and hit towards the left field line. 2-home run game for Chi-Shen Lin.
The 0-2 to Collins. Popped up. Shallow center. The shortstop Wade is there. He makes the catch. And they've done it again. A new dynasty has emerged in the ABL, the Bandits are back-to-back champions.
Well, welcome back to the ABL Hot Corner as the Adelaide Bite train out on West Beach Field as we do the show for week 2. We're going to finish off an over and under segment, 30-second over and under sprint to the finish. I'm sure you've seen these sports nuts on the ESPN with pardon interruption. We're going to have a bit of fun with it, similar. So I'm going to lead off with Spurls. So here we go, Spurls, short and sharp. Spurls over under Alex Mastry. 5.5 wins for Sydney this year.
Let me do some quick calculations. Chuckles, 10 potential 10 starts.
He's got one.
He's got 1 win. I'm going over, Chuckles.
Over.
I'm going over.
There you go.
He was lights out. So this
Over 5.5. Sydney are on.
They better come good for me. What about over and under? 15.5 home wins for Brisbane. Over or under?
3. I'll go under. The reason being, I think the team can go up there this year at some stage, snatch 2. They're up 5 home series, 20 home games. Adelaide have snatched 1, 3 and 1. You'd expect around the mark. If a team goes up there and snatches 2, which I think they will, who it's going to be, we don't know, but could catch them. I'll go under.
Wow.
Spells over under 500 for the crowd to the Bite home opener this Thursday night against Melbourne.
Well, it's 750 here, and I like that number a lot better. You've cribbed on me. So 500, eh? I'm going under, Chuckles. Thursday night, I know it's an opener, but hey, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't work Thursday night. You've already canned it.
Yeah, I know, but it's a home opener. Come on, Melbourne and Adelaide. Woo! They'll be in each other's throats.
I'm sorry, buddy. We're going under.
He's going under?
Yeah.
Last one.
What about the big fella Luke Van Mil? 10.5 saves. Over or under, Chuckles?
I'm going to go over because I know he had... Oh, come on, look, he had one on the weekend. I'm envisaging... That's a big word for me.
Good one.
Eh? I'm envisaging him probably trying to save 2 games a weekend. We saw it last year, he sort of struggled a bit. He's got one already. Let's see if he can do it. I'll go over. Over. And that is the 30-second over and under sprint. Spills, that will just about close us out.
That finishes us up, buddy. We've enjoyed it again, have we not?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we got reviews last week. I think we're going to get bigger reviews this week. A few eyebrows have been raised, I believe. So let's see what the response is this week. So look, we hope you enjoyed the show. Week 2 of the ABL coming up. Let's get as many people out there to support your team. Good luck to your team, and we'll see you next week for week 3 of the ABL Hot Corner. We're out of here.